Welcome to Investing. My name is John Ondercin, and I'm the head instructor here. And the first thing I'm going to talk to you today about, actually, I can talk to you a couple of things, actually. First of all, I've got a cool trade I'm going to show you a little bit later on in today's session. So make sure you stick around for that. It's pretty cool. I think you're going to like it. It does very well by me, and it's so easy, even a caveman can do it, in my opinion. So, how many of you guys ever get into a trade and you just get smacked? You instantly get in and you can't even see what happened, else and bam, you get smacked and you're in a trade and you're in and out and you lose instantly. Did you ever have that situation happen to you guys? Come on, we've all done it, right? Okay, well, it's part of trading. And some people get smacked worse than others with more money in their accounts, right? Well, I'm going to tell you, it happens to everybody, even the best of traders. It's just part of trading. Doesn't feel good. It stinks every time. And you wonder to yourself, how could I be this wrong this quick? And I'm sure a lot of you, we have a lot of people in the room today, and I'm sure a lot of you have your own checklists, right? How many of you have checklists? You go through your checklist and you think, okay, well, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this. And you go through your checklist, and then all of a sudden, you still get smacked. Well, not all checklists are perfect, but this is what I'm going to discuss today is something that if you're a shorter term trader, and I'm talking specifically anywhere from milliseconds to, maybe 5 to 10 minute trader. And I know we have a lot of day traders in the room, right? A lot of day traders? How many day traders in this room? Give me a yes real quick. Because I want to make sure if I'm talking, I'm going to make sure that we're talking to the right audience and that I'm meeting most people's needs here today, because we're here to make money, right? We're here to make money. Okay, looks like a ton of day traders here. Well, as a day trader, it's all about discipline. It's all about following your plan and make sure you're following your rules. And what I'm going to talk to you today about is something that I think you should add to your list of things, and I'm going to go through it in detail. I'm going to spend some time on it. A lot of friendly faces in the room today. Thanks for checking in. But what I want to talk to you today about is basically the level 2 screen. And the level 2 screen looks like this. And I'm going to try to block out the market a little bit because it gets me messed up too. All right, so here is what we got on the list, and I actually want to take a quick freeze of this screen because we have a perfect thing setting up right now. So I'm going to grab this, and great setup right now. Oh, great trade right now setting up on this. I'm going to add it to my slides as we're speaking because it's fun when you're talking about something and it's occurring right in front of you. How fun is that, huh? Real live trades right in front of people. We like that. Okay. All right. So what I'm looking at is the level 2 screen. And what does the level 2 screen really tell us? Well, it tells us a lot of things. And this is basically the auction. And I'll walk through the level 2 screen with you. And I know a lot of you are familiar with the level 2 screen, so I'm not going to cover too much of that. But I want to just make sure that you understand the basics for someone who's never seen the level 2 screen before. And this is a level 2. On the left-hand side, you've got what's called the bid. And on the right-hand side, you have what's called the ask. And it's an open auction. what you have is you got people sitting over here at, let's just say this price right here, and right now they're buying what? 9 contracts. So these people are trying to buy and get in, and they're putting their bids out here to buy here. Then on this side, you've got people on the ask, which are trying to sell their contracts, and this is on oil, and today's discussion is only on oil, okay? I don't have any screen time heavy on, well, actually, I shouldn't say that. For today's discussion, I'm just going to keep it to oil. I'm not going to go past to gold or anything else because then it can get too confusing for people. So let's just stick with what's going on oil. So on the ask side, these people are the sellers. These people are the buyers. And if you've heard my previous webinars that I've done, I talk about what moves the market. And does anybody remember what moves the market if you've listened to my past webinars? What moves the market? And what I mean by that is, here's my 1-minute chart. Well, what's causing price to go higher or lower? What's causing price to break out to new highs and to come down? What's causing it? Well, one of my students has the right answer. Well, here's how it happens. Here's your level 2 screen. Nothing happens on this level 2 or on the screen until someone comes in with a market order. A market order coming in at the market, someone who's willing to say, look, you know, right now, the bid right now is 84 by 85. Okay, I am so convinced that price is going to go up, I'm going to jump to the other side and I'm going to buy at the ask. And you're going to put in a buy market order, or I'm going to come right up on the ask and pay the ask price. That's what moves the market. You can play all the games you want on this level 2. You can drop your bid, you can cancel your bids, all that kind of stuff. Nothing happens until someone is willing to come across the aisle and say, look, you know what, I'm going to pay up. And they're going to pay full price. That's what moves the market. It's not supply and demand. Absolutely not. It's people coming in with market orders saying, hey, I think at this current price where the bid and ask is that I'm so convinced I'm going to pay up. And that's what moves things. So when we look at this, we understand that the market orders bring things up or down in either direction. Now, what I'm looking at a level 2 is there's actually a lot of stuff going on. And there is deception, there's truth. And now that's the 2 biggest things you're trying to figure out. Well, what else would it be, right? Well, it is all about deception and truth and figuring out what's true and what's not. Because there's a lot of games being played out there. And one of the games that people play out there is called, well, there's a lot of terms for it, but sometimes they're called ghost orders. They're called flash orders. But what people try to do is, you know, if you've got a lot of money and you're a hedge fund and you're trying to get in and out of the market and you're trying to get in, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 contracts on oil, would it be to your best interest to be out there all the time saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to go at, let's just say 50, 0, and just put 1,000 contracts out there. Now, keep an eye on this one right here, by the way. Would it do me any good if I'm trying to go and tell everyone, hey, look, I'm trying to sell 1,000 contracts? Well, it's probably not a good idea if you're trying to do that. And what the problem is if you have a lot of capital and you're trying to get into a position over long term on oil, You don't really want to tip your hat to the other people out there to say, hey, look, you know, I'm trying to accumulate all these shares, all these contracts, because what do people do to you in the market if they know what you want to do? If they know that you're trying to sell, let's say, let's just say for fun, you're trying to sell 50,000 contracts of oil, do you really want to be going out telling people that? Well, probably not, because the problem you're going to run into is if you're trying to sell that type of yeah, the trade just hit. Sorry, guys. I'll show this trade to you in a little bit. I'm glad I marked it. I marked the trade, and I called it ahead of time. And you're going to find out what I called in just a little bit. But if you're out there and you're selling 50,000 contracts, you're going to have a hard time. And you want to sell high, or do you want to sell low? Well, you probably want to sell as high as possible and buy low, right? Well, here's the thing. Let's say you're trying to sell 50,000 contracts. Oh, I should have given you this trade ahead of time. All right. So you're trying to sell 50,000 shares. Why? Because you bought 50,000 shares a long time ago. Now, if I know that you're trying to sell 50,000 shares, what am I going to try to do to you if I'm another player with big money, right? I'm going to try to bring price down, right? I'm going to try to bring price down to screw you over as much as possible. And that's basically the name of the game. How can, if I know what you're doing, how can I screw you over as big as possible? That's what they really try to do on the floor and what they try to do on the level 2. So they're trying to play these games out there, and they know other people watch the level 2. So what they'll do is they'll flash orders on you. And what does flash orders mean? Well, they'll come out here and they'll flash maybe at this level here. They're going to flash 328 or 321. And then all of a sudden it'll go away, it'll be gone, because here's what the novice person thinks a lot of the time. If they see big orders out here, let's say they see 229 orders. Ooh, boy, I don't want to buy because this guy right here, they're selling a lot of orders out there. I don't know if I'm going to get hurt or not. So they're always playing a game of, and you're always looking for, is this order out here? And I'll bring this up because I took a picture of it. There we go. Okay, remember when I took this picture at the beginning of the presentation? The question is this. Are these 61 orders, are they real or are they fake? That's the big question people are asking themselves. Is this 6 just sitting out here really a 6? Well, here's the way you got to look at it. You see, the market makers have a little box. And I haven't seen one of these in a while, but they have a box here. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it, let's say they want to sell 20,000 contracts. This is how many they want to sell. But then they have another box. Hold on 1 second here. They have another box out there that says, I believe it says show on it. And they're going to show 3. So what their computer does is it's going to show 3 contracts, let's just say up in this area right here. They're going to show 3 contracts, but they really have 20,000 contracts staged behind that cell. you ever see price just, you know, again, this is the ask, this is the bid. Do you ever see it when price just keeps repeatedly and repeatedly hits the ask? And hold on a second. There we go. And you'll see it where price just keeps hitting this area, and they keep hitting it, and they keep hitting it, and they're just not going away. Well, that's because someone out there is showing 3, but they really have 20,000 staged. And that situation is where you just got to sit back and say, look, there's a bigger player out there than I am. I'm going to get hurt if I try to trade against this. So it's a good way to step back and say, you know what, I'm going to look for a better setup because someone out there is playing the game. Hey, you know what, I'm going to show you 3, but I'm going to come in with 20,000. It's done all the time, all the time. So when you're looking at a level 2, you're constantly asking yourself, well, what's real, what's not? And how can I benefit from that? Now, what's the biggest number that you see on the chart right now? It's what? 251. You're going to ask yourself a question, is this real, or are they just messing with me? And how do you know if people are actually going to mess with you? Well, here's what you want to see if these are real or not. When price comes up to this area, you should see this thing dwindle. And you'll see it go from 251, then you'll see it down to 235, then you'll see it down to 240 or 225, and then you'll see 200, and then you'll see 160, and you'll see them just grind this number away. And is this always the case? No, no. But this is how you know if this is real or not. Remember, there's to use absolutes in trading is a hard thing to do because there's usually an exception to the rule quite a bit of the time. So this is what you want to see. You want to see a grinding away of these orders and have them come down. Then you're saying to yourself, if they grind down, then this is real. There's really someone out there. So I'm going to wait until these get ground down. And for oil, the number is, yes, it's 100 plus. That's what you're looking at. If there's 100 orders out there, you better be careful. Now, remember when I came to my original opening today, did you ever get smacked in a trade and you don't know why? Well, first of all, on my checklist is I have my level 2 screen up there. And maybe my system said, hey, I'm going to go long at 77. And I'm going to go long here. But if I don't check my level 2 and I don't notice that there's someone sitting out there for 251, my checklist says back away and wait until price gets hit, or do a modified trade, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. That's why a lot of people get smacked, is they jump in and their system says, hey, you know what, I'm going to get long right here at 51. I got all my things crossing and taking off and all that kind of stuff. And you get in, and then you get into a 251 orders out there, and they smack you right down, you get stopped out. So the first thing I'm going to tell you on your checklist is I want you to take a look at your level 2. See who's out there. In my training, I call these landmines, okay? All right? You ever get into a trade and all of a sudden smack? Ooh, I'm going to go long 51, 251, bam, they're going to smack you. Well, you need to be aware of it. So if you're a day trader, and you probably have, what, 2, 4, 6, 10, 20 screens up, One quick thing, I'll just glance real quick, is I'll look at my level 2, and if there's anything over 100 orders out there, I'm going to pay attention to that. And the question I'm asking myself, are they real or are they fake? Because all the time, there are people out there trying to take your money. And if you jump in front of this guy right here with 251, you're going to get smacked. So knowing that, how can you make money on this? Well, here's why you're here today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to show you a trade right now that I taught at my Trader Summit that I did a couple years ago. And it's just part of the summit. We had great speakers there, such as Mark Stone, myself, my son Alex, who just did a phenomenal job, Ted, great traders. And it was just a great event. And this is one event, this is one trade that I taught at this event. Now think about it. If I'm looking at my chart and I'm looking at all my setup and my system says to go long, be bullish, where would a logical place to be when you're looking at a level 2? Well, if I'm looking at a level 2 and all these are pretty, these are all pretty much 30s, 60s, all kinds of stuff. These are all the same thing, right? Well, here's a trade I'm going to show you, and it actually just happened as we were talking today. I called it out. You didn't know what trade I called out, but I do have this recorded, and you can rewind it, and I'm going to open your eyes to this trade that I'm going to show you. And that's why I took a photograph of the screen so we could discuss it after the fact of the trade that I called out ahead of time. Okay, so I said, hey, look, I told you guys 251 orders. Remember when I said that to everybody? 251. Well, guess what I would do? I'm going to show you the trade that I do in this situation. If 251 is my entry, or if 251 is where the big orders are, these are nice orders. I like this. My long is going to be at 51.01. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let everyone else take out all these orders. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do I know if these are real or not? 251. Just looking at the screen, do I know if these are real orders or not? There's 251, yes or no? Do I know? No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know until either one of two things happen. One, they either flash and go away, or two, price comes up here and they start eating them away, right? So if I have all these orders out here and I don't know where they're at, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go long on the other side at 51.01, and I'm going to let the big boys and the big girls take this trade out of there, wipe them out. Now, is it going to take a small amount of orders or a large amount of orders to wipe out 251 contracts? It's going to take a bigger boy than me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them take them out, and then I'm going to get in long. Remember, the long was at 51.01, right? Okay, let's take a look at our chart now where price was. I'm going to zoom in. And if you're a member of my Time Trader course, you'll see that this was also an entry on that course also, which occurred right there, ladies and gentlemen. If you're part of my Time Trader people, That's our entry right there. We went long, just FYI. So our entry was at what price? 51.01, right? Look what happened when I called that trade at 51.01. Look at it. Bam. That thing went 95 ticks. And if you don't know what oil is, 1 tick equals 10 bucks. Which this had a possibility of a $950 run. Pretty cool, huh? Look how many contracts it took. Let's see, where are we? Right there. First it took 3,000 contracts, then it took another 6,000 contracts the next minute later. What do you think about that? Not bad, huh? Pretty cool stuff. So there is a trade for you that I want you to look at and pay attention to. I'll bring it back up for you guys. So the first thing you want to do is you just want to open up your level 2. And you're looking for orders 100 contracts or more. Now, anytime you see 200 or plus, that's even a better trade. Now, here's one nuance I want to just mention to you guys. Sometimes, right side of level 2 is sellers or buyers. These are the sellers. These are the buyers. And this is showing 251 people or contracts that want to sell at 51. Is what we got. One nuance I want to make you guys aware of. Sometimes you'll see it look like this. You'll see 251 orders at 51. You might see 133 orders at 96, and then maybe 124 orders. So if you see that there is a big order here, a big order here, and a big order here, that's one time where you're probably going to want to just step back and say, okay, there's stacked orders. There's stacked large orders out there, and I don't want to get in. I'm just going to step back. Because here's what you'll see happen is you'll see price go into, price will go into these orders, and they'll end up chewing them up, and you'll see price hold. And then they'll hold it here, and then they'll hold it here. And what you're really doing is you're fighting the big sellers out there. And you don't want to be fighting them, you want to go with them. But when you see a lot of orders out there stacked, you just got to be careful. And I want to make sure you guys are aware of that, because you're going to see that out there, and then also you're going to go, well, John, what do I do now? Well, the answer is just there's no trade. We're looking for this lone standalone order out there, 251 contracts, and they're going to hold it. Okay? That's what they're going to do. So you don't want to be a part of it. All right. So questions here. Prices on CL move too fast to make that kind of analysis? Not at all. No. They don't. Well, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. If it's too fast of a market, just step back. Okay? Let's see what's happening live right now. Let's open it up. Okay? Is there anything going on right now? Look at the screen. Is there anything going on? No, there's nothing going on, right? So there's no trade. You're just looking for a situation where you're not going to take it short. See, if let's just say for fun, you see 320 orders right here, or actually let me do this. If you see, let's say at this 55 level, you see 216 orders. This is where the trade is going to happen. You're going to get in long on the other side of it. Let's flip the corner, okay? Let's say that price is coming down. Let's do it like this. Boy, great trading right now. Let's say, for fun, you want to take it short. I'll do this in white. Let's say that you want to take it short right there at 51.40. Okay? Here's the first thing you want to do. You want to look at your level 2. And I probably went too high or too low. What you want to do is you first want to look at 51.40. And at 51.40, is there anybody that's going to cause you any problem out there? Well, we don't know because we're not down at 51.40. So at 51.40, if there's 100 orders stacked, let's say 125 orders, guess what? Skip your trade. Let these orders get taken out, then get in. Or use my method and get in short at 51.39, you're going to have a short. Do you see how if price comes, let's put it like this. If you're trying to get in short here, and then on your level 2 down here at 51.40, you've got 125 orders stacked to go long. Do you see how that can be a problem? So how many times do you get into a trade and it comes down and just bounces you and you're trying to go short, right? And I'll do this in red so we can see it. Let's say you're trying to go short. You're trying to go short right here, right? And you get in short, and all of a sudden price comes down, you're in short, and then automatically goes right up against you. Doesn't that just stink, right? I'm sure some people say other words when they immediately get taken out. Well, step 1, take a look at your level 2. Is there anybody in the way? If there isn't, you're fine. Take that short at 40. If there is somebody in your way, and they're posting a big order out there, let's just say they're posting at 51.40, 124 contracts. Get in then at 51.39, then go short. Okay? It's a lot easier way to trade, and it's like stepping on landmines. If someone's got a big order out there, you're going to have a problem. Okay? Watch this. Let's see what's going to happen now. I don't know how many orders were stacked up here at 40. But look at what happened. Look at what happened here, guys. They came down right there and they stopped it, right? Right at what price? Let's get a price on that. 45. Okay? 45 is where they stopped it. Now, do I see any orders out there that are 100 or greater? No, I don't. I believe I'm in simulation here. Let me make sure I'm in sim. Nope, I am. I need to go to simulation. When I'm teaching like this, I don't want to be live because too many things can happen. Okay, so now I'd have a short out there. At 43. Okay? Now I can take this trade. Why? Because there's no one in my way, right? So right now we actually have my ledge trade setting up, a trade that I take quite a bit. Now, when I'm in a trade, I'm asking myself, who's in my way? Okay, who's my blockers? What's keeping me in this trade? Nothing on the right, nothing on the left, right? That's what I'm looking at. And it's important to make sure that there aren't any big orders out there messing me up. It's just part of your checklist. And if it's not part of your checklist, it's going to hurt you. So there's nothing holding price up. Okay, and my stop was wrong on this trade. But watch this come. This thing should come all the way down. Why? There's nothing holding price up. There is nothing holding price up right now. Do you see any big orders? No, no big orders. There's nothing holding this thing up. So it's a great way to make sure that you don't step in front of something and get smacked. So any questions on this trade? Yep, it'll work both sides, John. It'll work. We got to make sure that both sides are there's not a lot of orders. Big thing you're going to see though, how do you deal with iceberg orders? Well, and I'm going to give a shameless plug out to this person. I think they got a really good piece of software, and it's called Jigsaw Trading. They do a great job showing iceberg orders out there. It's an indicator. Now, I use it differently than what they do because I've tweaked it to what I do and I like to teach. But iceberg orders, I mean, an iceberg order is basically, I don't have it up on this computer. But, yeah, I mean, an iceberg order is kind of what I talked about. Let's say someone has 20,000 contracts out there, right? They call this an iceberg order. Why is it called an iceberg? Well, what does an iceberg look like? Well, if this is the water line, actually I'll use this color. If this is the water line, this is the way an iceberg looks, right, ladies and gentlemen? An iceberg has a little top on it, but then underneath it's huge, right? Okay? So if you're in your boat right here, right, here's your boat, here's your sail, right, you're boating along, and you see this little iceberg, well, yeah, this is all you see, but this is really the size of the ice chunk. And that's exactly what took out the Titanic, right? Hitting the iceberg. So an iceberg order is, a huge order out there that you can't see because they're not showing it, and it's absolutely huge. So, do you use this for like gold and ES? Yeah, ES is a little bit more challenging because the volume is so great on it. The ES, though, I tend to join them than anything else, Henry, and that's if I see an iceberg order out there on the S&P, and let's just say that on the ES I see maybe, I'll see 6,000 contracts, right, because it's the S&P. And there are a lot of times, and let's just say, let's just say for fun, 2,000 is the S&P, right? And I'll draw this a little better. Let's just say, for example, that over here is 2,000, and over here is 1900.75, okay, on the S&P. Well, if I see, let's say 8,000 contracts on the S&P, I will tend to step in front of these guys because on the S&P, yeah, they're playing games on you, but if it's at a level that you like, and let's say your level is today's high, for example. I'm going to join them, but then I'm going to shave off by, maybe one tick and join them. Actually, let's say I'll actually go to the bid side, and I'll short ahead of these guys all the time, because the S&P, if you're trying to sit with these guys and be part of this 8,000 mass, you're not going to get hit, or you're very unlikely that you're going to get hit. Gold, now let me just touch about gold real quick. With gold, the one nuance I have about gold, Larry, is on oil, I'm one tick away, right? I'm one tick away, or I'm one tick above, I should say, on the ask, and I'm one tick below on the bid. And hopefully I'm making sense to you guys. So if I'm trading oil, I'll bring this up. It makes it a lot easier. If I'm on oil, and okay, this is the ask, this is the bid. I'm one tick away. I'm at 51.01. Now, if I'm trading gold, I'm going to be 2 ticks away. And why do you think that is? Because gold's a little whippier. It's a little thinner, right? It doesn't trade as many contracts, and it's a little more whippy. So I'll be 2 ticks, sometimes 3 ticks away if I'm trading gold. If I'm trading, I'll put this out there too. If I'm trading NG, any NG traders out there? NG is what? Natural gas. Natural gas, I will actually be 6 ticks away. Because that puppy can move, and it can move fast. And I think it's probably the most explosive, one of the most explosive commodities out there. And it's a beast that is, it's a beast. Let me just tell you that it's a beast because it moves so much. Oh my goodness, it moves so much. You can be rich and poor real quick. It's not for the faint at heart. And Celso, I give you a lot of credit for trading NG. That is fast. Any other questions on oil? So there's your chart. Notice how they're holding. Now here's what you're looking at now on the chart. Notice this, ladies and gentlemen. You see how they held this level really well? What level was that? 43. 43, they're showing 60. We're going to watch how they come down to 60 if they do. Because if they do, then I want to be on the other side of that. 42. Look at this. 43, they're only showing 58. These guys are all iceberg orders. These guys are all, they're showing little, but they got a lot behind them. How do I know that? Well, they showed their hand, right? Look at this. They brought price down. Look, fake people out, fake people out, fake people out. You guys see that? You see any big orders out there? No, no, no. Oh, nay, nay, they're not there. They're stepping in at 43, and they're smacking everybody. This is great information. I mean, this chart should speak to you. Look, it's going to drop. You see these highs? See these highs here? See how they're getting lower, and they're getting lower, and they're getting lower? See that? The buyers can't bring this thing up. Look, the sellers step right in. The buyers are stepping in right here, 43. They're not showing anything big at all. You want to go short at 42. What a certain price level is not taken, do you take the opposite trade one tick below? Yeah, exactly. Here's an example of that right there. 42 short. Watch this thing, in my opinion, again, I'm not telling you to trade or take it. Watch this thing drop at 30 and stop, and then come right back up. Just watch it happen. This thing reads like a book right now. 43 is holding. The 42, if they can break through the 43s, it's over. They're going to smack this thing. It's going to come down to 51, 30 the first time. And then, where are they going to bring it? Right back down to this area. Right down here. That's their plan. And that's what the level 2 is going to tell you. And that's why it's fun right now, is because this is a live market. I told you what I think is going to happen. And we'll see maybe in a few minutes if that is what's going to happen. So I'll just keep that out there and keep answering questions for everybody. So this is one thing that you'll learn, and I go into more detail at the Trader Summit when I get into reading level 2. And I've just hit, no pun intended, the tip of the iceberg on level 2. And then some people are going to tell me, well, John, you got to read tape. I read tape in a different way, completely different way, because reading the tape to me is more of reading the market orders. We'll see you later, Ted. Thanks for coming. Reading tape is a skill that's, I think, has been updated with new technology. And if you trade with me in my time trader room, this is the technology I use to read the tape, and I think it does a much superior job. And I get into that at my boot camp, and if you're in my time trader room, it's something that I like to do. Good, good. I'm glad you like it. Well, I'm going to keep an eye on this trade. We'll keep it out there. But I would also, where is it? I'm just waiting for this thing to drop. Again, you guys saw this 251, right? I called it out right ahead of time, and it was definitely the case. So I'd like to introduce you to my Trading Summit. It's an online course. I get into a lot more on the level 2. And I want you to take the trade that I showed you and test it out for yourself. The Trading Summit course brings together 4 consistently profitable traders to teach you exactly the strategies that we use. And this is an exclusive course. You're not going to find this anywhere. I'll tell you that. The material in here is all original. The 3 personalities of every trader and how to make them work for you rather than against you. We're going to teach you how to eliminate fear, uncertainty, and doubt using the fade method. Now, the fade method is really cool because if you can handle your money management, it makes life so much easier. And how to differentiate between beliefs and emotions so you can focus on the facts and stay objective when you're trading. How to use the circle of alignment to plan out your average profitable days, months, even years in advance. The 2 types of buyers and sellers, and how knowing how to tell them apart can mean the difference between profits and losses. The difference between limit and market orders and what they say about trader conviction. The real reason price goes up, down, and sideways, and how to anticipate those movements in advance. And I just covered the tip of the iceberg today on reading that. 4 different strategies for trading crude oil, 3 day trading and 1 options, and 1 for trading gold. I'll tell you, there are some amazing opportunities right now in position trading gold. and oil. And by the time you're done, you'll have a soup to nuts, A to Z, step-by-step system for trading oil with complete confidence and authority. So here's what you get with our Trading Summit course. The course, the home study course, is a pre-recorded from a live event. Yes, you get to see our speakers live in person as we're speaking. It's over 9 hours of training on proven strategies. Step-by-step instruction designed so that an absolute beginner can begin making successful trades within 30 to 90 days. Session 1 is myself, John Ondercin, how the pros dominate the oil market with the level 2. And just for fun, let's just peek in at what's going on with that trade. I think it's starting to move a little bit. Where is it? There we are. Okay, we're right there at 42, right? That's our trade. We're going to take this all the way from 42 down to 12. How did I know this? I'm looking at the level 2. Okay, the level 2 is telling us that if we get in at 42 area, this thing's just going to drop. I don't see any big orders out there. We got an 84. I'm at 38. Look at what's going on. Now I'm going to spend a lot of time at this at the summit. You learn how to read the level 2. I'm going to go into a lot more detail. Choosing the right parameters for your trading style. Why you should not use the dome. Guess what? I hate the dome. I hate the dome. I hate the dome. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking at a chart, there's your chart. Keep your eyes on the road. This is where your eyes need to be. Okay? Keep your eyes on the chart. Once in a while, peek over, look at see if there's any big orders out there on the level 2. Okay? If there aren't, keep your eyes on the road. Just trading off the dome, just reading the dome, in my opinion, you're trading like you're texting and driving. Not a good thing to do. I'm going to show you my trade setups, my stops, and my targets. I get very specific. It's just not some vague type of thing. Very, very specific. How to effectively use second attempts trades for winners all day long. First time price hits a level, you do not want to go counter trend. You want to let it earn the right to stay there. And I'll get into that. Session 2, the money is in the charts. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll show you how to break the charts down to its basics. The chart should read like a textbook. If it doesn't, you're not reading it right. Learn how to read the chart will take care of you. You'll learn how to define trend and correctly identify double tops and double bottoms. Yes, there's a right way and a wrong way to identify them. Absolutely. Interpreting what the charts are really saying. You're going to learn so much in the time I'm going to be teaching on the summit about charts. It's going to blow away the stuff you've learned in your past trading. Session 3, my son. Okay, in the video, my son was 18. But a lot of people told me that he was probably one of the best speaker we had the whole time. And he is a phenomenal speaker. He's a phenomenal trader. You know what makes a phenomenal trader? You don't have any bad habits. That's the cool thing. At 18, you don't have as many bad habits as you have at your older age. Very, very important. Guys, this guy's my son Alex, he's 18 years old. He trades for a prop firm. He trades other people's money. People give an 18-year-old $30,000, $50,000 to trade, and they let him trade. So he's got the credentials. He is more than qualified to teach other people how to trade. He can do it. He's proved it. And he's got a course out there called Minimum Wage Crusher. Absolute must. You must have this trade in this course in your arsenal. He gets into one trade that is very, very well. He calls it his gold bounce trade. And it's how an 18-year-old kid trades gold. And at 18, making 50 to 150 bucks before school isn't bad. Not at all. You're just trading. He trades from 7:30 to maybe 8:30 every morning before he'd go to high school. Now he trades a couple hours prior to his college classes. Absolutely phenomenal trader. You got to see him. He talks about his critical indicator lines you better not ignore. Managing the trade step by step. So he's going to walk you through it. He's a great speaker. He's absolutely phenomenal. And where to put your targets and stops and why. As a prop trader, he is conditioned to make sure that he has optimal targets and stops, and he'll make sure that you know why also. It's so important. Session 4, Ted Posobiec, another phenomenal trader. And he's going to talk about how to get 50 ticks on oil with the 610 range chart. Why the 610 range is so important is he's going to get into that. Chart setup and configuration. He's going to tell you what his stops, targets, and setups are. Statistics of the trade. Very, very important. Ted, very, very seasoned trader. He's a former Navy diver, very disciplined, and just phenomenal content. You cannot go without this content. Session 5, Mark Stone. Me versus myself versus I. The cage match inside your head. Whether you like it or not, trading is 90% psychology. Some say 80, I say 90. If you can tame the demons in your head, if you can reel them in, your success rate is going to be much, much higher. The 3 personalities of every trader and how their self-talk influences your trading. The strengths and weaknesses of all 3, overcoming emotional trading, the key to changing internal beliefs. Session 6, Mark Stone is going to get into your step-by-step personalized blueprint for trading success. And this was so helpful to many people because they didn't really have a game plan. They didn't really have a path to their progress. So he's going to spend time on this, and he's going to get into going from strategy to a practical, usable trading plan, having a purpose for your profits, questioning your business assumptions, and the critical checklist you're going to need to succeed. Session 7, Mark Stone gets into how to profit from the bid-ask spread. Now, if you know Mark, he is big into auction. He's big into the footprint chart. He's big into OFA, order flow analytics, and reading the bid and the ask. He is one of your more old-timer tape reader who's come to the modern age and streamline what he does. He gets into why the market is a giant two-way auction, the difference between aggressive and passive orders and how they affect price movements, peering inside the auction using the footprint chart, and the roles of the markets and volume profile. Volume profile is a big, big thing that Mark will do and show you how to set up. Session 8, I get into day trading crude oil options. How cool is that? I'll tell you right now, if you're day trading your options, you're going to do very, very well. And it's a phenomenal market right now for trading options with oil. I'm going to show you how to trade options that hit the profits in just hours, not weeks, not months, not years, hours. Very quick profit setups. I'm going to show you low volume nodes and their significance and the best option strategy to use when trading oil. And you know how oil can move faster in the day? Well, trading options, it's even better. Now we've distilled the 2 full days of training into just over 9 hours of some of the best trading education you'll find anywhere in the world. The complete course is posted online, so you can watch it at your own pace from anywhere that has an internet connection. You'll get immediate access to the session 1 when you register, with the other sessions released at the rate of 1 per week. Now I want you to register right now at investinsuccess.com/summit. Now, we know we could easily sell this Trading Summit course for $3,000 because we sold many courses of similar high quality or over the years, and it would be a bargain at that price. The reality is that if we offered this at $3,000, only a few people, serious traders who are already making good money in the market, could afford it. However, the people that we really want to help are the ones who really need it the most. The ones who are almost there. The ones like you who are just 1 or 2 ingredients away from a huge breakthrough. You know, it can be as simple as one new idea or one simple tweak to your trading that will help you. Let me tell you a quick story. You guys ever heard of Schoenfeld Securities down in Boca Raton, Florida? Well, I was there back in 2004 trading with a buddy, and it was really, really funny because my friend was very, very successful. He'd make anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a day trading stocks. My buddy Jim, he says, you see those 2 guys sitting at that table? They trade the exact same strategy. The guy on the left is making $1,500 a day. The guy on the right is making $50 to $100 a day. I said, well, wow, they're trading the exact same strategy. Why is this guy making so much more? He goes, John, the guy on the left, his stop is 4 cents away more than the other guy. That's it. That's one little distinction between the two. So the guy on the left, his stop is 4 cents larger than the guy on the right, and the guy on the and he's making a great living at what he's doing, and the other guy is barely paying his rent. Isn't that funny? One little thing. Are you ready to make that kind of distinction? Well, the summit is all about that. It's about making that breakthrough. And I know not everyone can afford it, but that's why I'm not going to charge you $3,000. I'm not going to even charge you $997, which is what many people paid to attend the live event, not including airfare, not including hotel, car rental, food, everything. MarketFest special offer. For a limited time, you get the Trading Summit online course for only $297. That is a phenomenal deal. If even you get one new idea, that one new idea can push you from being a so-so trader to a profitable trader. It could be one small thing. And that's the cool thing about this summit is we may cover that in there. And there's actually a good chance you will, because we encompass a complete system. If your system is missing a few things, this is the place to get those answers. One payment, $297. Register now at investinsuccess.com/summit. Now you go to Starbucks, you guys go to the grocery store, hey guys, this is 81 cents a day for over a year. Not very much money. Anybody can afford 81 cents a day. Over most of the last 200 years, you needed millions of dollars to buy land, drill, and make money living from buying and selling oil. Today, to make money from oil, you just need a computer, an internet connection, and the right strategy. You need money too, and you should add money to that slide, right? If you're hesitating whatsoever because you're worried about that this might not work for you, don't be. because it's all backed with 100% money-back guarantee. That's right. We take all the risk out of it. Our 1-year money-back guarantee, we want to make sure you take action, okay? So sign up today. Check out the entire course for yourself. Trade oil E-mini futures at least twice a week, starting with a $5,000 in real or simulated. That simulated is important. Trading out a trading account using any of the day trading strategies taught in the course. After 12 months, if you have not generated at least a $5,000 in real or simulated profits, show us that you took proof, that you took some action, and get a full 100% refund. That easy. And I want to give you every opportunity to succeed at trading oil, which is why I'm going to add the following bonus. This is a fast action bonus, but only for the first 25 people who sign up. 30 days in my trading room. How would you like to join me, trade with me live in my trading room? Starts at 8:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Trade setups are based on time. It's part of my time trader course. Room is only open for 30 to 60 minutes. Yep, guys, all you need to do is trade 30 to 60 minutes a day. Doesn't take all day. And that's what it will take to reach your goal. This is a 377 value. Register at investtosuccess.com/summit. Couple questions. What do I okay, you know what, Bob? I want to talk to you. Bob Kennedy. I want to talk to you, my friend. I want to help you out. This is a new program we're going to start too. Okay? Bob, I don't want you trading your own money or real money when you start trading. I want you to trade other people's money once you qualify. You see, if you can't trade, if you can't trade in simulation, if you can't pass a trading test, you have no business trading live money. So I want you to think in terms of I'm going to trade someone else's money, and then once I'm good with their money, I'll trade my money. Isn't that a better business plan, Bob? I think so. Come join me at the summit. I'll show you how to do that. Very, very important. And then email me and I'll give you more details. Can I use it also with Forex trading or just oil? Ahmad, all I cover is oil. So I think a lot of the concepts will apply to what you're doing with Forex, but all I really talk about is oil. Rosa, I am also a prop trader. I am also a prop trader. So I've actually been approved to trade other people's money up to $150,000. And we can send you proof of that if you want to email us. I'll be happy to show that to you. And that's why my son is also, actually my daughter, she's 17. She's also a professional trader. She's been trading for 6 months now. She's all over YouTube, the strategies that we taught her. And she's on YouTube. You can listen to her story at 17 trading. All right, well, I'm gonna run out of time here. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. We do have another speaker here who is phenomenal, but I want to thank you for joining us. Please join me at the summit, investtosuccess.com/summit, and check out what we did. And I think it will blow you away. We give you so much content. We don't spend the whole day telling funny stories. We get into content, and that's all we do. So I am going to hand the mic back over to Dan, and I just want to thank you for joining me today, and we will see you next time. Stick around. We've got one more additional phenomenal speaker who you'll want to listen to, and I think you're going to have a great time. So Dan, I'm going to sign off. Everyone have a great day, and God bless.